Hello and welcome to my first video. King's Dominion is an amusement park in Doswell, Virginia, and this is a ranking on King's Dominion's roller coasters for 2023. Please note that these are my opinions, and I can claim whatever I want to be my favorite coaster, even if it is something like Tumbili over I-305. With that being said, let's get into it. In number 13th, the Great Pumpkin Coaster. This is for shorter and younger kids. And I really don't have to explain why this is 13th, it's just really short and no real excitement. So, with that being said, let's move on with the video. In 12th, we have Grizzly. This is a wooden coaster hidden in the back of the park, and the entrance is tucked in the woods behind its gift shop. Grizzly is a awful ride. I know King's Dominion recently retracked it, so I'll give them that. But you can tell where they didn't retrack. The transition into roughness from smooth caught me off guard, and it gave me a massive headache, ruining the next hour of my day. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't at least try this, but for me, it's a one-and-done attraction. Moving on. In 11th, we have Woodstock Express. This is a family wooden coaster right next to Dominator in the Snoopy section of the park. Woodstock Express is just mid. It's not super smooth and it's not super rough. It's nothing super exciting, but it's nothing super boring either. And I could barely fit inside the ride vehicle, so my knees banged up against the front of the ride, helping it earn its spot in 11th. Still, you should try this if you're visiting and not looking for an intense experience. In 10th, we have Apple's Apple, located next to Twisted Timbers towards the back of the park. I wanted to put this 9th, but I haven't had that many rides where I really remembered this ride for something other than the sharp turns that make you feel like you're about to fall off and the cool drop at the start. This ride is just like Woodstock Express, it's just mid all around, and it's a cool attraction if you want to take a break from the thrill rides. In 9th, we have Reptilian. Used to be known as Avalanche, Reptilian is a bobsled coaster in the Jungle Expedition area of the park. Reptilian was going to be 10th, but I just find this ride a lot more enjoyable than Apple's Apple in more ways than not. Other than that, again, ride is a good break from all the higher intensity rides in the park, earning its spot in 9th. In 8th, Tumbili. Tumbili is a 4D free spin coaster located in the Jungle Expedition area of the park, next to Reptilian. Tumbili is where we start to climb intensity of rides and quality. Tumbili is a pretty short ride, but its special feature, spinning around in random ways, definitely makes up for it. Tumbili is a really fun ride, and I highly suggest you try it out on your visit. Just know, it looks, well, like 100 times taller in real life than the video, so just be prepared for that. Anyways, Tumbili is a good, smooth ride, landing it in 8th. In 7th, we have the Backlot Stunt Coaster. This is a great ride. I like everything about it. The launch, however, is not super forceful, but you do feel the speed it gets you up to. The huge spiral up is very fun and sort of forceful. After that, the transitions are a little janky and snappy, but other than that, this ride is a great ride if you don't want to be caught in weak rides, and if you don't want a super intense ride either. So Backlot has earned 7th to me. In 6th, Racer 75. Formerly known as Rebel Yell, Racer 75 is a wooden coaster towards the middle-ish area of the park. Racer 75 is very cool because it races. But wait. Remove the racer, then you get an accurate name, because this thing hardly races anymore. I've been to the park like 3 to 4 times this year, and I've only seen it race once, and when it did, the ride was closed because of a ride issue. However, Racer 75 is completely safe, so do not worry. Racer 75 has some pretty comfortable restraints and is an awesome ride experience when it does race. Overall, 6th. And moving on. In 5th, we have Flight of Fear. This ride is great. However, I did not like it as much because I was extremely nervous getting on it. The launch caught me off guard, and the launch does pack a punch. The restraint feels a lot like Backlots, but it feels a little more comfortable. The ride is completely in the dark, however some lights are on so you can barely see what's ahead. This ride is very fun and suggest this to anybody who wants a fun ride that's not too intense but still intense. Overall, 5th place for Flight of Fear. Again, highly suggest that you ride this. In 4th, Anaconda. Now before you click off, because I know you are about to, hear me out. Anaconda is a good ride, in my eyes. People say it is extremely rough and has headbang, and I disagree. I didn't have headbang, and it wasn't that rough. Maybe because my head is taller than the restraint, but well. The only issue that is preventing it from any higher is the short, boring layout and the rough entrance to the mid-course brake run. The first half is too short, and it crawls through the final half. Overall, I still enjoy this ride, putting it in 4th. And I suggest that you ride it. Alright, here we go with the larger coasters. Number 3, we have a Dominator. Located right in the front of the park, this ride is great. I look forward to riding it every time I go to King's Dominion, and here's why. There are a lot of strong positive forces. It has a good drop that gets you up to some high speeds. It's enjoyable. It's smooth. There really is no roughness or rattle. This ride is just great, and the addition of having no floor with the positive G's make this ride even better. I love the freedom you feel on the ride, even with the over-the-shoulder restraints. Overall, this ride gets a solid 3rd place. Now, for these next 2 rides, they are really close, and when I had first rode them, you could catch me 1 minute saying I like the other one over the other, and literally 30 seconds later saying I like the other one more. Anyways, here we go. In 2nd, we have Twisted Timbers. Located towards the back of the park, Twisted Timbers is a mix of steel and wood. Twisted Timbers is the hybrid version of Hurler that used to stand where Twisted Timbers does now. And Twisted Timbers is so good. You have to try it when you go to King's Dominion. I mean, you have the really fun barrel roll drop where you have some hang time. You head into the high-speed turnaround into the camelbacks, which are my favorite. And then a small hill, still keeping up the ejector-filled ride. Then you turn around and you head into some more ejector hills into trick track ejector goodness. And then you dive into the structure with some more good ejector airtime moments. This ride just has great pacing, and that will earn 2nd place for this ride. And first, we have Intimidator 305. This 305-foot tall Giga roller coaster is known for its ability to make guests black out. The element that does this is the tight, high-banked turnaround after the first drop. This element is taken at around 90 miles per hour, 145 kilometers per hour. This makes the element even more intense as the rider is exposed to around 4.5-ish Gs for 5 to 7 seconds, causing them to black out. This makes me love the ride, and if you know me, I plan to be a fighter jet pilot in the future, and the idea of blacking out is so cool to me, which helps boost I-305's ranking. This ride has gotten a bad reputation with the general public because of this, but if you ask me, they can shut the Anyways, this ride is pretty intense, snappy side-to-side transitions that make this ride even more intense overall. This ride is a great ride, but unfortunately it wasn't worth its money because of the bad reputation it has received. 1st place for I-305, and that will be it for this video. If you want, you can leave by leaving a like. Not going to beg, but you can if you want. Anyways, see ya.